Good morning, my lovely, afternoon, it's 12:30. Okay, today we're making a mock mascarpone cream cannoli filling. You can use it for cannolis, you can fill it cupcakes, you can fill cookie sandwiches, you can dip cookies into it. There's a whole lot of uses for this cream filling. It's one of my favorites and it's easiest. The reason it's mock mascarpone is because in my area, I guess we're not gourmet enough that it's really hard to find mascarpone cheese and it's very expensive when they do have it. So I use half cream cheese filling, cream cheese, and half Greek vanilla yogurt, just because that's what I eat anyway, and it's non-fat, but compared with the fat of the cream cheese, it's half the fat, so can't be too guilty about it. So it tastes a very nice neutral base that you can add to anything that you would use cream cheese for or mascarpone for. You can add some cinnamon and some mini chocolate chips to make it fill cannolis for traditional filling. You can really flavor it any way you like. I'm gonna do a really simple recipe that has vanilla, but you can flavor it however you like. But I'm also gonna color it because it's always fun to see how to color creamed fillings when you want to put it in something. I color a lot of things, but this is one of the recipes that I use that I have substituted. Instead of mascarpone, I make a mock mascarpone, which is half cream cheese, 1.5 parts to 1 part Philadelphia brand cream cheese, full fat, or you could use half fat or non-fat if you want to make it guilt-free, less calories. And I use Light and Fit Dannon Greek yogurt. The Greek is the important part because it has protein along. If you're doing keto, this is keto friendly because there's no carbs. Well, there's little carbs with the vanilla. It's lower sugar, it's lower carbs. For those that are trying to do keto or just keep low sugar, like I am, it's a nice alternative. I find mascarpone really bland and you have to really doctor it a lot. So this is actually what I use instead of mascarpone. I don't bother using mascarpone anymore. And this is what I use to dip cookies or just a snack instead of my typical cookie dip, which I don't need a lot of cookies. Maybe I do. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, let's get cracking. I'll turn the camera down, so look away if you get motion sick. But again, this is my mock mascarpone filling. You can use it for cannolis, cupcake filling. You could add a buttercream, add it to buttercream to make a mascarpone buttercream, but because of the vanilla yogurt in there, you're gonna lose some stability. But we can get to that if you use it for that. And there's really no end to what you can add this to. Cookie sandwiches is really good. So anyway, let's get cracking. All right, turn away, look away. Oh, you see my ceiling. Hopefully I won't hit the wrong button again. Can I see anyone? All right, so, oops, I forgot the lights again. I have all my ingredients out, again, mise en place, everything in its place, measured out, weighed, ready, your equipment and all that. Today I'm going to use a hand mixer instead of a stand mixer because it's such a very small amount. I'm not getting a big mixer for that. That's too much trouble. And to be quite honest, it won't. The beaters on the stand mixer don't like small amounts because it has a hard time picking it up from the bottom of the bowl. So I just use the hand mixer. So I have 5 ounces or 142 grams of Dannon Light and Fit non-fat Greek vanilla yogurt. This is my favorite. You can use whichever one you want. You could use a flavored yogurt. It doesn't have to be Greek. If you use flavored, then you don't need to add flavoring to it, which is a nice shortcut. I'll put that back in the fridge before I forget. And I have 1 block, which is 226 grams or 8 ounces of Philadelphia brand cream cheese, full fat. You can use half fat or the Neuchâtel, which is non-fat. This is the only brand I use. You couldn't pay me to use any others. Not only because I'm from my dad's from the Philadelphia area and used to live there, but it's the best tasting in my opinion. I do not like store brands, but that's personal taste. So let's see. I am also using flavoring because this is vanilla yogurt and I'm just gonna add more vanilla. I suggest using clear vanilla, number one, for 2 reasons. This is a great taste. My neighbors cruise to Mexico a lot, so every time they go, they bring me back vanilla, and this is a clear one. It has a decided coconut aroma to it. It's absolutely delicious. So I use this even more than the one I get from Amazon, which is this one. I actually put the ones they bring me in little bottles, I put it in here. This is my next favorite. It's vanilla bean. I do add vanilla beans to the container. So whenever I open a new bottle of extract, I put it in here to infuse with the beans that are already in there to suck out the most flavor possible. But now, let me go back. This regular vanilla has a yellowish tint to it because that's what you get from the vanilla bean. The clear one has been treated differently, but because I'm coloring the flavoring and you don't want to muddy up your colors, I would suggest using a clear vanilla to keep your somewhat yellow cream cheese and your white yogurt as white as possible. What does that mean? If you use a bit of yellow, you're going to distort some of your colors and they won't be as crisp as possible. For those, I know all of you make buttercreams or royal icings that you know this. Start off with a white base and you get a pure color that you add instead of a yellow tinge. It's going to distort. It's going to help the green, but the pink it's going to distort a little bit and the blue is going to turn green. So start off with white if you can. I'll also show you another secret to combat this yellowy cream cheese, which you can't really avoid. That's the bacteria that makes the cheese. That's a whole nother lesson, but it's going to be a little bit, it's like an ivory. It's not too bad. So, and I also have so here's my clear vanilla, which is 6 grams, which is 1 teaspoon. And I have my extra containers for making my colors. I have toothpicks to get my gel colors. I'm going to use gel colors. You can use whichever kind you want. Powder and airbrush colors, I find in this application, are not as deep, and it will mess with my consistency. So you want to be careful. To achieve a certain bold color, you have to use more airbrush color or less powder, and it will affect the consistency. But I'm going to use gel today for ease of reference for everybody. These you can pick up at Michael's. I think some grocery stores have it too now. So they're pretty common. Any brand will do. I just happen to have Wilton. And that's it. It's really 3 ingredients. If you want to add cinnamon to make a cannoli filling, you can do that. And I have over here, so you can reach, semi-sweet mini chocolate chips for traditional mascarpone filling. You add those. I'm not going to add them today, but I just wanted to show you mini chocolate chips is fun. I will do it at the end so you can see what they look like. It does interfere a little bit with your color scheme because I'm doing a unicorn-esque, it's tricolor. That's what I'm doing, and I'm doing some nice pastel colors. It sometimes can look weird, but it's your choice. You know, I like weird, so I'm not fazed at all by it, but you want to consider that. So you don't have to color it at all, and you just put the mini chocolate chips in there, and you have cannoli filling, and it's delicious. So let's get cracking. I have warmed up my cream cheese. Now to do that, let me go back up. A bit about, I'm a stickler for food safety, and dairy is the one thing you have to be very careful of when you're serving it to your family and clients, that there's a danger zone of temperature between 40 degrees and 120, I believe. I forgot to look it up. Actually, it's like 36 degrees Fahrenheit to 100. That's the danger zone. That means the bacteria is going to grow more quickly than if it's frozen or cooled to less than 36 degrees Fahrenheit or heated to more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So in the danger zone is this range that is very quick to increase the bacteria growth, and that's what you want to be careful of. What does that mean in practicality? That means not leaving your dairy out of refrigeration for longer than 2 hours. That's important. Now you can leave your, before you start, you can leave out your ingredients on the counter to warm up to room temperature. However, that's going to take 2 hours. Now you're getting into your danger zone. And when you're preparing this, you have to be mindful when you're putting it in cupcakes, they have to immediately go in the fridge a half hour later. So now you're 2.5 hours. What I do, cut all that wait time. I take my cream cheese block out of the wrapper. I cut it in half. I put it in a separate bowl and I pop it in the microwave for 15-second bursts. It usually just takes 2. My microwave is pretty big, so it doesn't take long. You don't want to cook it because it will start to crust. You just want to warm it up. Now this quickly gets it into the danger zone, but I still have, an hour and 55 minutes left of the danger zone time to work with it and get it back to refrigeration, below or above the temperature out of the danger zone. And the same with the yogurt. I don't warm this up in the microwave because this heats very quickly. And if you overheat it, it will turn really soupy. Then you've ruined your consistency and you have to add powdered sugar. And that's not really the point of this particular recipe, because the 2 consistencies, actually the cream cheese will help the consistency of this one. The yogurt thins out the cream cheese consistency. So they help each other. And I don't want to add a lot of powdered sugar, be it sugar substitute or regular sugar. So just be mindful of that. So that's why they're in separate bowls. This is the one I'm going to mix it in. So I put my, 142 grams of yogurt in here, whatever yogurt it is, and my 1 block, 8 ounces or 226 grams. They're never actually to the amount they say, but it's fine. 1 block of cream cheese warmed up, and I'm going to mix them together and put everything else in there. Because I want an extra, you don't have to add, because I'm using vanilla yogurt, you actually don't have to add more vanilla, but I want a very bold, I was going to say strong, but I want a bold vanilla flavor. And if you were making this into a cannoli filling, the vanilla is going to enhance the cinnamon flavor for traditional cannoli filling. So again, if you're filling it with cupcakes, be mindful of what the cupcake flavor is. It will really enhance it. You can always go with vanilla or don't flavor it at all for a very close to mascarpone flavor. Again, I find it kind of bland, so you may not. That's totally up to you. So you can hand mix this, but this is going to take forever. I ain't got time for that. I don't have the patience either. So I'm going to mix everything. I'm going to mix it before I add my vanilla because I have a feeling this is going to be kind of watery. So you're going to see a mistake in action and how to fix it. All right, this is going to get noisy, so beware. I mean, that took 30 seconds. Really super fast. I mean, sure, you can get your workout, but using an electric mixer, hand mixer, or if you're making a double or triple batch, you can use a stand mixer, whips the cream cheese and makes it really fluffy. This is super light. So this is perfect. Now, when I put it back in the fridge, it's going to stiffen up. So when you go to serve it, you want to take it out about 10 minutes before you want to eat it, if you can wait that long, and dip your items into it or fill it. Right now would be the perfect consistency to put in a piping bag and then fill cupcakes or fill cookie sandwiches. You want a little stiffer to fill cookie sandwiches, but it's okay. You can add a little bit of powdered sugar to make it stiffer if you like, but I want you to see the consistency. You can't even call it a peak, kind of, but it's really different than butter. It's actually a bit stiffer. So you can rely on this a bit more. Now, I'm going to add my vanilla because I want a pretty strong vanilla flavor. I'm going to re-whip it. I'll whip it a little bit more. I have to do it lefty today. That smell, so good. Turn off my notifications. That is beautiful. Now I tilted the bowl so you could see me mixing it. You won't need to do that, but that is a really nice pipeable consistency. And the cream cheese is softer than when it's in a block form because I've incorporated air into it. It's really fun. Now to the fun part. I'm going to take some into 3 bowls just to color it, kind of thirds, and it's general. And I'm going to keep the big bowl to re-add it. I'll get to that part because then I'll get 4 colors. The green, pink, blue, and white. Because there's some still in the bowl. And I don't want to mix it too much. The last part we will hand mix, barely. So don't panic. This is mostly thirds, not really. If you want to get precise, then weigh it. But I eyeball it. So just be mindful when you have more of one color, then of course it's going to be more of that color. Now I'm going to take some on my, try not to splatter it everywhere, on my toothpick. Once you dip it in once and put it in dairy, do not put it back into your color because you've now introduced bacteria. Just throw it out. Get a new toothpick. They're cheap. Blue over here. You can mix one at a time, and then if you're clumsy like me, close up your jars so you don't spill it. This is a little thicker than the other ones because I'm at the end of my jar. Sad face. This is one of my favorites, you can see, because it's the most used. And leaf green. So this is a new jar, so it's going to be a nicer consistency and a bit more liquid. So just be mindful of that when you worry about consistencies. If you're piping detail with this, you need more stiff. So you're going to need to add powdered sugar. Add a 1/4 cup at a time to the main bowl to get it to a stiffer consistency. That will help if you're going to pipe shapes or a nice swirl on top of a cupcake. But if you're filling a cupcake or sandwiches, you don't really need a shape. Excuse me. If you're filling cookie sandwiches, you will need a nice 1M swirl definition. So add a little bit of powdered sugar. Now I'm going to use new spatulas. So I'm going to save that one. And I'm just going to mix the color. Whatever color you want is entirely up to you. I actually like striations, so I tend to leave it, especially if I'm going to mix it more. But if this is a preference, it's totally up to you. I find striations are really interesting, so I'm going to leave that big vein of darker blue in it. So that's it. No need to do any more if that's how you want it. Same with the pink. I might need a bit more. I like these silicone spatulas because they swipe the sides really clean. You could use a spoon if you like. I just like to get in the crevices. All right, this is a pretty color. I'm going to leave the striations in there too because I am mixing it another time when I mix them all together. Lightly. You don't want to mix too much because then you'll get one color and you won't have the different striations or the different colors. You just have one muddy color. It might be a purple, could be green, could be a orange, go into brown. That'd be interesting. All right, so that's it. Super fast. I'm going to put them back into, I'm going to get a shallow bowl. Because this is going to be the end bowl that I put in the fridge because I'm going to use it. This is totally mine. I'm going to eat this like a snack. Maybe put some nuts in it for yogurt for breakfast. But I'm going to show you the cookies. I'm going to dip into it later. Now, to get the different colors into one bowl, I'm just putting them on one side of the bowl. You can layer them. You can spread it out. But that makes it harder. I find that putting it on the side is actually the easiest to get the different colors, and it's a nice swirl. So I'm going to put that over there. Lick those bowls later. Lick those beaters too, because that's the fun part. Put that green over, pink over here. Whoopsie. Don't let the bowl fall into your other bowl. Just waste all that product. But you can lick it. It's an excuse to lick it. All right. Put it aside. And blue on the side here. There's a couple ways to do it. I'm not being too precise because again, I'm going to swirl it. So you end up getting a layered effect anyway. Now I'm going to take my white spatula that has white on it, to mix them. See, it has white, didn't clean it off. And then you just swirl. Don't do it too much. This is more folding technique. So it's not mixing in the traditional sense, but it's really therapeutic to watch this mix. So don't do it too much. You're going to have a muddy color. And really that's it. This is almost too much. Just scoot it around. And you have now, pop it into your piping bag, pipe it how you like it. But I wouldn't even mix it here before I put it in my piping bag. I would just actually put it right into the piping bag, and then, or 3 of them together, and then hold it in one big one, which we're gonna do another time for striping. I think we've gone over striping before. And that's it. Here's your unicorn mascarpone, mock mascarpone filling. And I'm gonna lick all those later. It's the fun part. Now here's what it looks like when you put some mini chocolate chips in it. I'm gonna put a few. I don't actually like milk chocolate. So again, you can see it kind of plays with the coloring scheme, and it does, you lose a little bit of your coloring. But again, this has turned a little muddy because all the colors have been overmixed a little bit, but I wanted you to see what it looks like. So don't do it too much. The least amount is best. So what do I use it for? Cupcake filling, cupcake topping, cookie filling for cookie sandwiches, cookie topping, dipping cookies into it, just eating like with a spoon. The choice is yours. I have a selection of cookies here that I'm going to dip into it. And whoopsie. This is one of my favorites. This is a speculoos cookie. Biscoff has a bit of cinnamon. Oh my God, it's so good. What is going on here? And this I sometimes eat for a snack. It has protein, but it's high in calories, so be careful. And this is, of course, your shortbread, another guilty pleasure of mine. My absolute favorite store-bought cookie, the only store-bought cookie I will eat, Danish butter cookies. Oh my God. I know, right? It's a cheap tin. You'd be surprised what you find in dollar stores. They actually get imported stuff. So this is artificially flavored. It's totally no good for me, but I love them. You can see I've been at them already. Cambridge and Thames is the brand. That's actually where I'm born, Cambridge, in Suffolk County. And the Thames is the River Thames in England. So this is a British style biscuit. And this is a really good cookie. So I'm going to dip it right in. And then I'm going to dip my little Biscoff speculoos cookie into it. This is my favorite one. Nom, nom, nom. Just dip it unceremoniously right in there. Big old healthy scoop. You get the tang of the cream cheese, the vanilla, and the support of the vanilla yogurt to make me think I'm eating healthy. But because this is full fat, I gotta watch the calories. So good. Okay. Sorry, my mouth is full. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, tag me. Put the lid on it. Put it in the fridge right away. When you make this and pop it, if you're going to use it for a filling, put it in the fridge to stiffen it up a bit so you can prepare everything else that you're getting ready, your piping bag and your cupcakes and all that stuff. Be sure it stays in the fridge. You do not want it out of the fridge for longer than 2 hours because, again, the danger zone of bacteria, you should not be eating it. You're going to get sick. And your tummy will tell you. Okay, if you have any questions, tag me. Let me see your creations. All right, talk to you again soon. Bye.